Hello and welcome to Blended Agendas. Today's topic is the Capitol building calamity. The world watched as the event unfolded on January 6 as the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. was invaded by the so-called pro-Trump supporters. The members of Congress were meeting to certify the Electoral College votes for the presidency, where some members of the Republican Party had objections to the count, which delayed the certification of President-elect Joe Biden's win over Trump. The Capitol building was breached, and the mob got past the perimeter and stormed the building. They gained access to the parts of the building that were off limits to the public. Chemical irritants were used on law enforcement officers. Explosive devices were found near the building. There was looting. Documents were taken off the desk of some members of Congress. Law enforcement officers were taking selfies with the invaders. Many of you are asking, how did this happen? How were they able to scale the building with ropes without being stopped? Why weren't they called domestic terrorists and treated as such? What would have happened if an actual international terrorist infiltrated this group and detonated a bomb and caused many more lives to be lost in this chaos? I have visited the Capitol building several times and was never allowed access to the areas where the rioters gained access to, and I was invited. This is my opinion, my theory. You are most welcome to discuss why you agree or don't agree. Let's have a civilized conversation. My theory is these so-called rioters were invited to the Capitol to create this chaos. They had a mission to persuade the nation and opposing members of Congress that Biden will be the next president of the United States. I agreed with some of President Trump's policies, but he was not a good leader. He displayed many signs of an ineffective leader, such as lacking conflict resolution, lack of focus and attention to detail, quick to blame instead of taking responsibility, and he definitely lacked humility. Trump was allowed to carry out this type of dictatorship for his whole term of presidency until he started to expose the problem with bureaucracies and government agency kickbacks. Then he became a problem. They had to get rid of him and use the Black Lives Matter movement and Antifa as a smokescreen. Ask yourself, why did opposing members change their minds about the electoral vote after reconvening to condemn Trump? Biden made a brief appearance after the melee to affirm the chaotic scene at the Capitol building did not reflect a true America. I beg to differ. The United States history shows things are taken by force if it's not given to them. Just ask the Native Americans. No arrests on that day of the riot. They were allowed to go home. 4 deaths have occurred from this incident. As of today, 82 people were arrested, but the most common charge was violating the 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. curfew. Imagine that. You get arrested for breaking curfew, but not breaking into and looting the Capitol building. The media and the government, well, I'm not sure they are separate entities, want Black Americans to look on it as being white supremacy and double standards when it comes to how law enforcement officers deal with people of color versus how they deal with white people. We all know this to be true. No secret there. But don't get caught up with that issue in this instance. See it for what it is. They are just trying to control the narrative. Don't look at it with your eyes wide shut. I'm not sure if this was an attempt to undermine American democracy or undermine the intelligence of the American people. This is America viewed under a white lens. This is my opinion, my theory. Thank you for listening to Blended Agendas. Please like, comment, and subscribe.